Good morning students, I am Dr. Tripti Gupta from Shivjyoti Education Group Kota. Today we are going to take up chapter number 6 from your first flight book, The 100 Dresses part 2. We have already done the first part of this story in chapter number 5. I hope you must have gone through that video. Now we are moving ahead with this story written by Elps or Esther. Now as we had seen the story in the first part, the class was looking to the various designs which were made by Wanda, those sketches of beautiful dresses, and meanwhile there the teacher Miss Mason was sitting in the class, and at that same point of time one of the boys he came to Miss Mason with a letter with a and Miss Mason, she read that letter very keenly, and then she asked all the students to sit on their seats, and she said that, see, I have got a letter from Wanda's father, and I want all of you to listen to this letter, what Wanda's father has written in this letter. Now, what the letter was about, that Wanda is not going to come to school anymore, and her brother Jack, he will also not be coming, as they are moving to a big city. Okay. And why he was been moving, that reason is also been written in that letter, and what he wrote was that no more holler Polak, no more ask why funny name. Okay. So, plenty of funny names in the big city. This is how he has justified that why they are moving from this place to a big city, because in that place nobody will be teasing Wanda and Jake about their names, which were not a familiar name for the Native Americans, and this gave Miss Mason an idea that probably somebody has hurt Wanda Petronsky's feelings while she was being maybe teased with or must be bullied because of her different name. And she says that I am very sure that probably none of my students, none of the students of this class had hurt the feelings of Wanda Petronsky, but still I feel that if something unfortunate of this kind has been happened, this is a very sad aspect from on our part, that none of the person should hurt or should make fun of any of the people or any of the person for in a mere thing like an unfamiliar name. So, this is how this letter made everybody to realize, and immediately after this letter was being read, they had a study session, and later on Maddie, she was being very sad, and she was feeling very she was guilt conscious about that why she did not stop Peggy to take up this fun activity, and why she did not oppose Peggy. She should have not been a silent spectator or the part of that mockery session or teasing Wanda, and she was very guilt stricken at that moment, and she decided that she will go to Boggins Height and she will find out, and if it is possible for her, she will stop that girl, she will make her realize that, see, they all were being sorry for their behavior, their mistreatment which they had done up till now, and she will make Wanda not to go and not to shift from here for this reason. And she was very determined that she will say to Wanda that she will assure that nobody should tease her, should make fun of her. And these particular thoughts were going on in Maddie's some mind, and with this the day ended. And at the end of the day, Peggy, she also asked Wanda that, say, I feel that we should go and stop Wanda to move from this place, rather this is not a she also wanted to go to Bogginside. So, both the girls, they decided and they went to Bogginside. So, they had an idea before getting very dark, they reached Bogginside, they found the house of Wanda Petronsky. It was a beautiful small house, and white little house, and okay, and with that she was being, they identified, they looked for Wanda in that house, they called her name also, they went to the backyard also, and then again they called the name, they asked for Wanda, but they did not find Wanda Petronsky and her family over there. So, finally they realized that Petronskys have moved from this, already they have left the place. Okay. Now, we have come across with 3 questions here. See the internal questions. Let us discuss these 3 questions first. Okay. Now, okay. So, first question here is, what did Mr. Petronsky's letter say? So, we can find this answer on page 73, para 4, where the letter which has been written by Mr. Petronsky, Wanda's father, is being described here. Okay, so this is the answer to this question. Okay, second question is Miss Mason angry with the class, or is she unhappy and upset? So, we can see Miss Mason was upset. Okay, so this is the answer, a very simple one. Next question is, how does Maddie feel after listening to the note from Wanda's father? Now, we can very well analyze that she was moved and she felt guilty, and she was guilt conscious, she was guilt stricken. So, this is the answer to this question. Okay. Now, there is one more question here, what does Maddie want to do? So, we can see Maddie, what she wanted to go and meet Wanda and to apologize for her treatment, for her misbehavior and for her mistreatment. So, this is the answer to the fourth question. These are the simple answers which you can easily write analyzing the story. Okay. Now, as we were discussing the next section here, and they have seen that both the girls went to the Wanda's house and they found that both the Petronskys have left the place. So, after both the girls, Peggy and Maddie, did not find Wanda's family there, Peggy gave a mere casual justification that probably see, we tried and she should have, me asking those questions were giving her an idea of designing those dresses, and probably she has gained from our fun making activity. So, this was the mere justification that Peggy gave, and Maddie on the other hand was very much hurt, and she did not pay attention to the Peggy's justification. Rather, she was being thoughtful about how Wanda used to describe her dresses, how she used to answer about these questions that she had 100 dresses, and how beautifully she has sketched all those dresses. So, she was being thoughtful about Wanda, and after that thoughtfulness she had a very concluding determined idea in her mind that probably she will not she will not make any other student to face such kind of mockery, and she is going to stand by and she is going to take a strong stand if any such activity is going to be repeated in future, okay, with any of the student. She is not she will never be a standby and will say nothing again. She will not have that set of behavior. She will change herself and she will try to find out that if anything such behavior will happen, then she will take a strong stand against those people who are making fun of other students. Now, after this aspect, Maddie, on Saturday, Maddie and Peggy, they both were being into an activity that they started writing a letter to Wanda, and they wrote in that letter that she has beautifully, they admired her dresses, they informed her that she has won the medal and she is the winner of that contest, and Wanda she should not go and she should come back. If she will come back, she will find everything will be very good here, okay. And they were making it was a very friendly letter, but nowhere both the girls had courage to write that they were sorry, okay. And finally, they mailed this letter to Borgens Heights with an instruction that they should forward this letter to Wanda Petronsky's new address, okay. Now, this letter was being posted by girls, and both Maggie and both Peggy and Maddie, they both were being they kept waiting for quite some time. Weeks passed on and they did not find any answer to their letter from Wanda. But they were probably sure that the letter must have reached Wanda because the letter did not return back to them, okay. Now, and Maddie was been thinking of that probably Wanda was very hurt, she was very annoyed. So, that must be the reason that why Wanda has not answered their letter. Now, with the passage of time, now it was the month of Christmas, and on that Christmas evening, it was the last day before the Christmas holiday, and they were being the class was being decorated, and they were right from the morning all the students were in festive mood, and the teacher Miss Mason, she received a letter on that morning, and when she was in the class she came up with that, do you know who has sent me a letter? Do you remember Wanda Petronsky? She has sent me a letter, and see, so I must tell you what she has written in that letter. So, all the students in the class, they just sat very quietly and with keen interest they were listening to what is being written by Wanda in that letter. So, what she wrote here, that she inquired about that how are you and how is room 13, okay. So, and what she said that she asked that tell the girls that they can keep all those 100 dresses with them, and now she in her new house she has all those 100 new ones with her. So, she has new 100 dresses and they all are lined up in her closet, okay. And then she said that Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with red sash or trimming, and her friend Maddie to have that blue one, okay. And then she said that she will miss the school, and also she praised Miss Mason that the new teacher is not as par with Miss Mason, and she just wished everybody Merry Christmas, and with this she ended her letter. Okay. Now, on that day when Peggy and Maddie were returning home and they were looking to the streets were being decorated, all beautiful flower arrangements and ribbons and trees, Christmas trees, then lots of sweets, peppermint sticks, and everything was being displayed in the shops. And see, Peggy was she exclaimed that the letter which was sent by Wanda, Peggy says that this shows that she really likes us, okay, and it shows that she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything is all right, and that's that. So, this was the Peggy's inference from Wanda's letter, that probably she must have like, now she is not that annoyed with us, she likes her, that is why she has gifted us those sketches of those drawings of those beautiful dresses. And similarly, Maddie was a bit more sad, she was still feeling that guilt in her, that probably they are the reason why Wanda left the school. And then too, she felt sad because she knew that she would never be able to see the that Polish girl Wanda Petronsky again, and she would never be able to apologize to Wanda for her mistreatment, for her misbehavior. Okay. And but she was happy probably that Wanda has gifted her the dress. Now, when she went home, she pinned that dress on the wallpaper in her bedroom, and she found that dress to be very brilliant, very beautiful colors, drizzling colors, and she was been feeling very nice of Wanda, and she was being very tearful and feeling a lot of like repentful feeling was there in Maddie's mind, and she was rubbing her eyes, and she was studying that dress, she was observing that dress very keenly, and the dresses, the colors of the dresses, and that the details of the dress, how Wanda used to explain that dress, and how beautifully she has sketched that dress. Now, while she was looking at the dress, she found that the girl who was being sketched in wearing that blue dress was looking very similar to Maddie, and then she realized that probably Wanda has assumed Maddie wearing that blue dress, and this made Maddie to be very happy and very excited, and immediately she ran over to Peggy's house, and there she went to Peggy and she said that, have you seen that dress? Have you seen the girl's face of that drawing? So they just turned that drawing, and they found that the dress, the green dress which Peggy was being gifted by Wanda, the girl's face resembled Peggy, and this made and now after looking to those dresses and looking to the gift which Wanda has given to them, finally Maddie, she agreed that yes, she must have liked her, she must have forgiven her for her treatment. So finally Maddie and Peggy, they both were been having a Christmas gift from Wanda, and that made them to feel happy and come out of that feeling of guilt, and they felt that probably Wanda has already forgiven them for their misbehavior, and finally with this note they must have celebrated Christmas in a more happier and with a more elated manner. Now, there are few more questions, internal questions, which we need to discuss here. See on page number 76, question number 1, what excuses. Now, look here on this page, the important internal question here is, why does Wanda's house remind Maddie of Wanda's blue dress? So, for this question you can see here, the Wanda's house was also like Wanda's blue dress, as it was neat, clean, and but it was old and shabby like her blue dress which she used to wear. Okay. Another important question, see here on page 77, what does Maddie think hard about and what important decision does she come to? So, Maddie was feeling guilt for the ill treatment happened to Wanda. Okay. So, this was her hard feeling. Okay. She was thinking hard about this aspect and she decided to say sorry to Wanda. She decided to apologize to Wanda for that ill treatment. Okay. Now, there are few more questions. Come to the page number 79. See here, first question, what did the girls write to Wanda? So, what did they write to Wanda? That they asked about the new school and they told her that her 100 dresses were beautiful, she has won the contest and she is the winner of the contest, and that is all was the part of their friendly letter. Okay. Another question of importance is, why did they get a reply? Who was more anxious for a reply, Peggy or Maddie? How do you know? Okay. So, we know that Maddie was more anxious for the reply and actually they did not get a reply, and Maddie used to wait every day for receiving that reply. Okay. But later on when Christmas was approaching, they got the reply for that letter. Okay. So, we can say yes, they got a reply. Okay, students. So, now we have discussed most of the internal questions here and the various important key aspects of the story also. Thank you, students.